students, again, we have to discuss the taxonomic aids. These taxonomic aids are certain tools which are utilized by the taxonomists in order to group organisms on the basis of the similarities and dissimilarities. And after grouping them, they keep these organisms in a specified, environment. Sometimes they are preserved, sometimes they are stuffed, sometimes they are kept as living specimens. So there are various ways by which we can use these taxonomical or taxonomic aids. We will be discussing about each one, like few of the taxonomic aids which are there in your syllabus. The very first one is the botanical gardens. Now these botanical gardens, as the name suggests, they are the gardens which have presence of certain plants, and these plants are, we are already aware that all the plants, they have some or the other very important value for our survival. They are not only giving us wood and other necessary items, other than that they are also giving us various important um, substances or medicines. They have medicinal value as well as normal, you know household work is also done with the help of these plants. Some of the plants, they, with the help of them, we can have a certain idea about formation of bonsai. Bonsai is a condition in which a big plant like a big banyan tree can be made in a small pot with the help of, or just a miniature version of big plants can be made, and that can be seen in the botanical gardens if you have visited any. Parasitic plants are also there. Insectivorous plants are there. Insectivorous plants, last day I was trying to tell you all about one plant which is peach plant. This peach plant has a leaf kind of thing over here, and at the base, this plant grows in a place which has lack of nitrogen within the surrounding, and because of that, this place has presence of teeth-like outer projections inside of this flower. And whenever fly, suppose this is our fly which has tried to enter, and when it enters inside this leaf which is over here, the leaf will just close. So the leaf will close the area, and then after, digestive enzymes will be secreted by all these places, and the fly will be digested in order to take out all the nitrogen from the fly, and it will be sucked up by the plant. This is a peach plant. Please check it, the activity of peach plant in the Google, and you will see that what exactly a peach plant is. So these are insectivorous plants. Sometimes parasitic plants are also planted, and like parasitic, one of the parasitic plant is this, we call it as orchid. You will see that on the bark of the big trees in our school also, many of you may remember that during the rainy season flowers come, and those flowers are very pretty. Those flowers are basically the orchids, as because the orchids are growing in summer kind climatic condition or tropical region, so the flowers are not so beautiful like the way we see the orchids in the hills. But still, orchid is a orchid, and it is a kind of parasitic plant. Sometimes it grows over the bark of these all trees in our, the big trees which we have in our school. Now, I want you all to write whatever is written over here in your copy, and along with it, write little explanation also if you have, if you want to write. There are few of the botanical gardens whose name you have to learn, and maybe if possible for you all, during your vacations, if the COVID situation, ends quite soon, and before you could qualify your class 12 and have an opportunity to visit any of these three places, please do visit Kolkata, Darjeeling, or Lucknow, and visit these botanical gardens. You will be really very delighted to see the ambience of the place. It's really wonderful. Especially, I have visited both these, and I am aware that, like, I enjoyed the sight. It's just wonderful. Being a biology student, it's a wonderful place to visit because all the scientific names of the plants are written, and along with it, the plants also have the medicinal value written. There are certain libraries over there. You can get idea about any of the things. Sometimes there is presence of individuals who can give you explanation about each of the plants which are growing. Especially the one in the Kolkata, you will get an opportunity to see a big banyan tree, and This banyan tree has, you are aware, I hope, Picus bengalensis is the name for it. And West Bengal is so famous that even the entire world knows it by the name of Ficus bengalensis. It is a kind of that banyan tree has presence of prop roots. So the main root of that plant is like it's thousands of years old. I have just forgotten that how many years old it is, but still it's very old plant, and it has presence of prop roots. With the help of the prop roots, it is still intact and it looks like a forest. It is extended over acres of land, and it's a very wonderful sight. Everyone should visit that place. This entire trunk was, you know, affected by insect attack, and it has been removed, but still the entire canopy of the plant is still there, and it is a wonderful sight to see. So I think everyone should learn these three names, and other than that, also there are few names in your book. You can learn those as well. What is the importance of having this botanical garden? First thing is the aesthetic and recreational value. It adds to this to the environment. If you go to a place like this, then your mind will be you will feel very good, and that adds to the recreation. Aesthetic value in the sense it adds to financial growth of the country. When you visit any of these places, there is some fees which is charged for the entry fees, and that adds to the aesthetic value of the country. Aesthetic value also means that these botanical gardens are considered as a site for not only the individuals who are interested in having some knowledge about these subjects, but other than that also these sites are actually happiness giving to everyone. If you visit these places, you will feel good because nature is there, and nature is something which we don't see in the cities nowadays. It is only present in the this kind of botanical gardens. For you all, it is not the truth. You all stay in such wonderful doors, and it's actually heaven kind of place. But still, if you visit it, I think you will also enjoy. It provides material for botanical research. Definitely, this botanical research, if you have live specimens, you can just see them. Sometimes you can preserve them. You can work on the substances which come out from them. For example, the raw materials which can be taken out from the botanical plants that can be utilized for research work. That is what I wanted to say. On site teaching. So, teachers like I should take you all to one of the botanical gardens and demonstrate you that this plant is this and what is the functions of the plant, what is the medicinal value of the plant, how does it look, where does it grow, uh, what are the morphological characters visible and the anatomical characters which you all cannot see. Being a teacher, we all should do this, but our school doesn't has that option. Next part is the conservation of endangered plant species. Some of the plant species which are not found anywhere else in the surroundings, they are grown over there or they have been conserved, still protected in the environment of the botanical garden. So in that way it becomes very important. Herbarium and library is present in there. Herbarium is a sheet which is made with the help of preserving the small plants or sometimes the leaves of the plants in a piece of paper, and then after the names are written, there is an entire format for it. I'll just give you the format provide. And as because botanical garden requires some manpower for the working, and that's the reason it provides some employment to the individuals who are seeking jobs. Herbarium is a collection of pressed, dried, and preserved plants. You all have done the herbarium sheets in maybe junior classes. Same thing you have to do, but this time in a much more technical way. And I will be giving you the entire way or format by which you can do. But right now, I just feel that in this situation, how many of you will be able to manage the plants? That's a big question. What is the importance of having these herbarium sheets? Let's discuss that. The very first thing is that the herbarium sheets are repository of plant specimen. Repository means that there is a specimen which is preserved. Repository means a preserved specimen which is well protected and it is stored and it will be available forever. Safety for a type of specimen. So one specimen, if we if we can keep it as a herbarium, so future generations can also come up and look up to the leaf and say, okay, this is the way people tree used to look like, because they have never seen a people tree. Or many of you, if you have not seen a people tree, I can just show you the leaf of a people tree and say that, Look at this leaf, this is the way the leaf looks like of a people tree." Compilation of floras, manuals, and monographs. These all are publication works and are mainly based on the specimens in herbaria. So, knowledge of the plant taxonomy and distribution is gained from the herbarium specimens. We can just read these all monographs and manuals and floras and understand it. Identification facility is there, the same thing I said. I can show you a people leaf and you can look at it and understand, okay, this is the way the leaves look like. Training facility is given. Sometimes the in like students or the researchers, they are given training how to make a herbarium. So at first collection is to be done, then after pressing is there, drying up is there, mounting is there. Mounting in the sense that that leaf has to be stick to the herbarium sheet. Then labeling is to be done, and after that, storing and protection of these plant specimens are really, really difficult tasks. Think about a leaf being stored for 10, 15 years. Definitely, there will be silverfish inside it. Some leaves will get insect attack, pest attack will be there. So, these all things have to be taken into account, and regular spraying of insecticides and pesticides on these plants is to be done. Research centers are also built up with the help of these herbarium, keeping these herbarium sheets in them. So research centers have a shelf or an area where herbarium sheets are present, so that the taxonomist can always look up to the specimens, live specimens, dried specimens, in order to find out that how the difference is there amongst the, or what kind of difference is there amongst the organisms. Fine. Next is the preservation of voucher specimens. As because the voucher specimens are the specimens of which specialized studies such as the chromosomal or phytochemical or ultrastructural studies have been conducted, so they need to be preserved in the herbaria. In such cases, a contradictory report is received and the voucher specimens are re-examined to verify the earlier findings. So I hope this is understood to you all. Suppose one of the organism is already there, and say people leave of now and people leave of future. Suppose as today we preserve one leaf of people and it has certain characteristics. Suppose 50 years later someone has found out something regarding the chromosome of the leaf or certain mechanism taking place in the leaf. They can check that with the leaf of today and see that what is the difference. Is it the same leaf which we are talking as people leaf, or they are talking about some other people leaf? So that confusion will not be created if we already keep a lot of herbarium sheets for our future studies. Even if we are not there, someone else will be doing the same study. Next is the museums. Now these zoological museums are the places where not only the living, even the dead organisms are kept, and they are also kept for the same purpose, in order to identify the organism and to make it available for the people around, so that they can just look up to the individual and have a feeling that, okay, if these organisms are very important for our life, and if they exist, then only we can survive. If they are lost from the nature, then after there is a very less chance that we all will also survive. In these zoological museums, most of the organisms, they are like, I'll explain that how the organisms are kept, but still you all have a reading of what I have written over here. Some of the activities in the museums are done, like the film shows, gift shops are also there, and books books there for the visitors, so they can look up to the books and understand that what is being shown in the museum. Next is these zoological museums. How do the objects are exhibited? How, what do we see in a zoological museum? First is an stuffed animal. So the dead animals, their skin is pulled off, and in the skin, cotton or cloth is put, and then after it looks like an organism, the same lion or same tiger, and then after it is kept. I personally don't like zoological museums, but still, this is something which is used for the study only. So we should study about it. Next is the stuffed head. Animal's head is cut off, and then after all the internal organs are removed, and then after it is stuffed with again piece of cloth, thermocol, and certain things so that it looks as if the animal is alive. Preserved animals are also kept. We keep the preserved animals even in school we have, or anyways any place you will go, you will see that the preserved animals are kept in formalin. Formalin is SEOH, and it helps in preservation of the dead organisms. Dried specimen animals are also kept. Some of the animals like the insects, silverfishes and all, these all are dried up in the books, or by putting two very heavy objects in between them, they are just squeezed and pressed, and then after they are kept with labelings the way we do the herbarium sheets in a similar way. You can see the skeletons are there, the feathers, leaves, these all things can be kept as such. Molluscans, shells, the snails you all are aware of, even the oysters, the just the living organism is removed, and then after just the shells they are kept, like the way we collect the shells when we go to a any seaside. Elephant tusk is also kept at times. Fossil models, fossils in the sense that if any fossil archaeological study, during the archaeological study, if anything is found out, that is also kept over there. Some models are there. Charts of history are also found. These fossils can be seen in some of the museums in the foreign countries where the dinosaurs are kept. So the bones of the dinosaurs, they all are joined together and kept. For example, the like Jurassic Park is one of the examples of it. It has been you all have little bit idea about it. Anyways, animal products are also kept at times like this honey wax, bee wax, so that it can be shown to the individuals. Next is about this zoological museum's importance. This is the importance, children. What is the importance? The when people will be shown the zoological museums, they will understand that how important these all organisms are for us. If they get extinct, then there will be no chance for us to survive. So it is important that we preserve them, and then only we all will be able to survive together. That's it. Next comes the zoological park. It is also a very important thing in the sense that these zoological parks are much better than the zoological museums. In the zoological museums, you'll rarely see anything living. All of them are dead organisms, dead individuals. Here in the zoological park, you will see living organism. But again, there is a problem with this place, that the zoological parks are in a confined area, and in a confined area, the organisms have to stay. Like the wild animals, they don't want to stay in, or they no one wants to be in captivity, but still in zoological park we keep the organisms in captivity. Not all, but most of the organisms are to be kept in captivity in order to protect the individuals who are going to see it. For example, the lions and tigers, they are all very dangerous and wild animals. They will attack the humans and kill them if they are not kept in captivity. So that is one thing. Sometimes in enclosures, some of the organisms who are kept in the zoological parks, like the salamanders or the crocodiles, these all organisms, they are always placed in a covered area, or in a closet. There is an enclosure in which they all are kept. Snakes, they are kept in enclosures. Sometimes even scorpions you will see at some places. Insects are also there, spiders, turtles. So they all are placed in shed, or in a glass place, or maybe at times in certain closures which are enclosures which are there. Aviaries and insectaries. Aviaries, I hope you can think of. The birds are kept over there. So a big, or you can think of a very huge net is there. Inside the net, there will be presence of lot of birds, and you can see the birds over there. Insectaria is also example of, suppose a mulberry plant is kept inside Zoological Park, and there you will see that how the silkworm is formed. You can see some places that there is pupa, somewhere you will see that the eggs are glued, some places you will see the larva feeding. So this is the way the exposure or the zoological park shows off all the living organisms. They will just try to show the living organisms in their living habitat, and without causing any harm to them. That is the main aim of the zoological parks. But still, enclosures are there. That is the only thing, and it is for the safety purpose only. But still, what is the idea, which, or what is the aim and objective of this zoological park? It is making people aware that how important its presence is for them, and it is also making individuals aware about the animals, that which animal is what. Now, we are not aware, we have never seen a tiger as such in our living area. So in order to understand how does a tiger look like, we can definitely see it over a phone, but looking at a tiger in reality will be of a good experience. So that's why they are kept, just for our entertainment. Such a bad thing, but still, that's it. Next is about the keys. The keys are basically of two types, and what is the importance of key? Key is a kind of classification, or it is a tool for classification of the organisms. If the taxonomists they want to classify an organism, they use either of these two keys, indented key or the bracketed key. Now you have examples in your book. Look up to those examples and let me know that if you understand it or not. I think it will be understood, because both the keys they give you certain rules, and according to those rules you will understand that which organism belongs to which particular species. They will ask you questions, and on the basis of your answer you will be asked to select that which option is the right option. So this is the importance of keys, and I have just given you all the meaning of it. In the I think you can just go through the example in your book, and that will be the best thing. And in the intended key, what we do is we have two choices. Among the choices, we just select one, and then after that, that choice of ours helps us in specifying organism, that what species does it belongs to. But bracketed keys are completely different. Here there will be numbers given, one, two, three, four numbers will be there. Suppose a statement is given: do the organism has presence of, you know what do we say, 6 legs. If the organism has 6 legs, here in the bracket it will be written yes. If the answer is yes, go to question number 6, and if the answer is no, then move on to the 2 question. So in the second one again some question will be there, and in the 6. So in this way you will proceed, and you will reach to a conclusion where the conclusion will be worth it. You will actually end up finding an organism. So this can be best explained with the example which you have in your book, uh, and we will just discuss it in the class.